Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to do that, I use an inspiring quote. And here's the one I have for you today. Love does not dominate, it cultivates. I love this quote. You know what it says to me? Love is only felt when freedom is present. You shouldn't try to control the ones you love. Wow. When I think more and more about this particular quote, it kind of reminds me of a few verses in the Bible. Now these, if you've been to a wedding recently, are probably fresh in your brain. 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. They say, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Wow, how powerful is that? So how are you loving the people in your life today? Could we maybe love a little better? Yeah? It's a challenge, but hey, I'll take it with you. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now stick around. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about and a lot of great music. Like this song right here for King and Country, Love Me Like I Am. One thing I found is you don't really think about aging until you're like 40 years old. And then it's like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of great things about getting older, right? We get smarter, wiser. We have more experiences. We can help people a little better. And for some of us, we become parents. And who allowed that to happen, right? It's like, this is me we're talking about. And you want me to be responsible for that little one? Yet somehow it works out. But some of the things that we don't really enjoy about getting older, for me, I don't love the gray in my goatee. I just don't. I've been thinking about getting like the hair color stuff, maybe the simpler hair color and doing that. But then again, I'm not sure. It's like, do I not? Do I just embrace the gray? I don't know. But I'm only 40 years old. I'll be 41 coming up in September. But there's one thing that I've noticed too about getting older, and I'm not the only one who's had this revelation. Here, take a listen to this.
Here's a fun thing about aging. I currently have a mystery pain. Just a pain in my arm. It feels like I got stabbed. Not like a sharp knife, just like someone took like the cream cheese spreader and just slowly pushed it in there. How did I get it? No idea. No idea. Did I get it sleeping? Maybe. If I WebMD it, it's probably arm cancer. But I'm not going to do anything about it because I know what's actually wrong. You know what's actually wrong? Is it's 38. It's a 38-year-old arm, and that is just too old for arms. It's like when you see a 1984 Toyota Corolla on the road, and you go, what's wrong with that car? It's 38. That's what's wrong with it.
That's a pretty relatable little comment there, isn't it? Yeah, so my Toyota Corolla would be a 1982 model, and I'm happy it's still on the road. I'm just saying, I'm trying to find ways to make sure that my Corolla's taken care of. You know what I mean? Yeah, the massage oils, maybe the the Bengay or the Blue Emu, whatever salve is out there to help me feel better. I'm game. Bring it on, right? I want to keep this car on the road as long as I can. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. I would not eat them with a goat. I would not eat them on a boat. I would not eat them here nor there. I would not eat them anywhere. Remember that? Well, guess what? We got a restaurant right near us here in Guntersville that serves green eggs and ham. Let me tell you more about them next. AL.com just came out with the top 10 breakfasts in Alabama, and North Alabama made the list twice. Yeah, I want to tell you about one of the restaurants. At number 3, Homecoming and Company in Guntersville. Now, I got to looking at their menu, and oh my goodness, they got some amazing stuff on here. Plus, some really funny names for some of their dishes. Yeah, like the Dirty Bird. It's crispy chicken fingers, maple slaw and bacon jam between waffles, served with smashed browns and maple syrup. Ooh, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. How about this one? Green eggs and ham. That's house-made collard greens, city ham, 2 eggs, and an onion ring over local grits. What do you think about that? Sounds kind of tasty, right? Brings your childhood to life. Green eggs and ham. You can eat them like Sam I am. Well, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, that if you're looking for a good breakfast this morning, that might need to be on your map. Yeah, so anyway, they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Again, Homecoming and Company, if you want to find them, they're at 3637 Lake Gunnersville Park Drive, right here in Gunnersville. So there you go. All right, hey, I'll have the other restaurant tell you a little bit about them coming up later on in the show. I love telling you more about the artists that you hear right here on 88.5 JFM, and I've got to tell you about what's been going on TikTok with a couple of them. All right, so you know that band from just down the road in Hartselle, Alabama? Yeah, you know the brother and two sisters. They go by the name Kane because that's their last name. Yeah, they're pretty good, right? Well, Cochran and Company has kind of been an up-and-comer as well. And you see, what happened was Kane put out this challenge on their TikTok channel. Said, hey, we're going to sing a little bit of one of our songs for you. We're going to leave an open verse for you to throw down whatever you want to put there. And Cochran and Company decided to show up. You've got to hear this. It is so good. Take a listen.
Yo, if you ask me, it ain't hard to see how every single time you come through for me, like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all through the word you keep your flow. Still, everybody wanna doubt you though. Everybody wanna try to run around and talk about, oh, I can be the confident and humble in the heavens, but I can, yes I am. I know I'm in God's plans. It's all in God's hands. Even when I don't understand, on my best day, on my worst, right on this open verse, I'm a child of God first. I'm blessed, yeah, you heard.
What do you think about that? I love it. Didn't know he could rap. Man, he could sing though. Here is Cochran and Company with their newest song, newest radio single. It's Running Home right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Turn it up. It's a great song.
It's been a long time running down a dead-end road.
Now your word of life. Today from James chapter 5, verse 16, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. Again, that's James 5:16 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. You can find it across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Want to shout out some people listening to us on the radio right now. Atlanta, Georgia, I see you hanging out. Thank you for making us part of your day, as well as I got to looking at my map and I found you. I don't know particularly what town you're in, but I can tell what county you're in. Columbiana County, Ohio. Thank you for listening to us from there and making us part of your day. It means a lot. All right, here's Newsboys, and I Speak Jesus. Oh, don't let me forget our friends over in Helsinki, Finland. Thank you for hanging out with us today as well. AL.com came out with their top 10 breakfast spots across the state of Alabama. North Alabama made the list twice. The first one was right here in Gunnersville. I shared that earlier in the show. Now I want to share with you the other North Alabama restaurant that made it on the list. It's the Standard Social Market in Huntsville at 127 Holmes Avenue, Suite 102. Now, this place, I'm telling you, it looks sleek. It looks modern. According to the review that AL.com has put up there, it's a must-do breakfast in Huntsville. So what's so special about it? Well, their food and their service. They do this la-di-da brunch stuff like avocado toast, blackened pork belly BLT, and more. And they've got some lunch and dinner options as well. But going back to just breakfast and brunch, my goodness, they got steak and eggs. Of course, a classic biscuits and gravy. How about the brioche French toast? Ooh, this might have to make it on your map for, I don't know, the next time you go into Huntsville. Got a little time to eat some breakfast? Well, the Standard Social Market. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to try it out myself. I've never eaten there either. So, hey, we'll both try it. Let me know how you like it. Send me an instant message. Send me a message through or a DM through our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. It all comes to me. So, yeah, go on over there. Let me know what you like there. I'd love to find out. If I do go, what should I get? What's the best thing they got to offer? All right. Hey, you can find out more about which 10 restaurants made the list at AL.com. It's on their main page right now. I listened to a sermon recently called When the Stuff hits the fan. And let's be honest, the stuff hits the fan in our lives from time to time, but how do we react or respond to it? Yeah, I'm going to bring you a story of a bride and groom who watched the unbelievable happen. The one thing that could ruin their entire day. How did they react to it? You're going to love this. In view of eternity, this life is like a blip on the radar. It's so short, but you want to make the best of it, right? Especially on those big occasions. You want everything to be just right. Say on your big day, you know, that day when you finally say I do to the love of your life. You want that to be perfect. Painstaking details, right? Months and months of preparation. What kind of flowers? What color dresses are the bridesmaids going to wear? All that stuff. The cake. The cake is a big deal, isn't it? Well, let me tell you. There's this couple, and they were having the day of their lives. It was their big day. Everything was going off without a hitch. And they got to the reception. It was time for the cake to enter the building. The caterers had it in hand, and as they walked through the threshold of the door, they tripped. And the 4-tier wedding cake tumbled to the ground. Oh, the look on the bride's face of disgust and amazement all at the same time. Like, I can't believe I just saw that. Well, you see, this couple, they had a choice. They could be irate and mad and negative and feel like it just ruined their day, or they could look at it as a happy memory. What did they choose to do? Well, as the groom saw what happened, he grabbed himself a fork. He reached over to the big pile of cake on the floor and took a forkful, put it in his mouth, big smile on his face, and said, "Hey, come on, come get some cake." Motion for the bride to come on. I love this. It was posted on Instagram. So many comments came through on this one, and I love these. One of them says, her eyes show that she knows she got the right guy. Because, you know, that's a big test for a relationship, is how is each person going to react in the middle of a terrible situation? And I think he passed the test on this. Another person said, the way he just called her to eat is phenomenal. Another person says, cake is still cake. You know, yelling at those waiters won't solve anything, but it could ruin their whole lives. So, yeah, I think maybe this couple's going to last. What do you think? They stand a pretty good chance. If they got started off like that and they can handle conflict that easily, wow. Did you know you can really improve your day by tweaking your morning routine? I'm going to give you some advice. Well, I'll let a celebrity do that for you coming up. He's a pretty inspirational guy. I think you might like him. He's got a pretty nice mustache and he's on a lot of game shows. Who is he? Stick around and find out. I think you're going to love his comments, though. Of the celebrities that I follow over on social media, I think Steve Harvey is probably the hardest working one because he's got so much stuff going on throughout his day. He's got his own radio show. And then he's got all of the family feuds, the celebrity family feud, the regular family feud, the family feuds in other countries like Africa. Yeah, his day starts early and ends late. Plus, he's been doing this Judge Steve Harvey show, and hey, that's been gaining a lot of attention as well. Yeah, in fact, it is a 2023 Daytime Emmy Awards nominee for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program, which is cool, right? But, you know, there's something inspirational about Steve Harvey. He really has some values worth talking about, and he likes to share them with people. So here's a little advice on how you might be able to tweak your morning routine to have a better day. Here, see what you think about this.
Protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop. Just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for.
When you get on a plane, you want everybody to be prepared. You don't want them to wing it. But I'm going to tell you how one crew did just that. They winged it. And it's getting a lot of publicity. Stick around. For everyone listening who volunteers at church in any way, this little story is going to hit your heart in a special way. All right, so like when you're at the church potluck and you've got a lot more people there than food, and it's like that last second, oh my gosh, we need to get some more food, so you run to Little Caesars or you go to maybe Piggly Wiggly and you get some chicken fingers. You know how that works, right? Well, imagine now that it's not at church, but rather you're a flight attendant. You just found out that all the food that's supposed to go on this flight, this 12.5-hour flight, is spoiled because it wasn't refrigerated properly. Now you're scrambling. So what do? Well, this happened recently on a British Airways flight, and the crew turned to KFC. You could say that they winged it. Pun intended. Anyway, they went and got buckets and buckets of chicken, brought it on the plane, and they handed out chicken legs. A chicken leg for everybody. It's finger licking good. That kind of beats the peanuts or the pretzels, right? But you had some people who were all smiles about this, made the most of it. And then you have some people who were just disappointed. It's like, that's all you could give me was a chicken leg? Do you know who I am? To which I think, be grateful. You got food at all. It was a last-ditch effort, and it all worked out. Sometimes you really got to think on your feet. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I want some chicken now. Let me go find some. Stick around. I've got your kid cuisine coming up next. Plus, somebody's going to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Point Mallard Water Park. It's 8 o'clock. You know what that means? It's time for your kid cuisine. We've done this all summer long, having a blast, because our kids, they get bored, they get hungry, and when those two things mix together in the kitchen, some really weird concoctions can happen. Yep, sometimes they're delicious, sometimes not so much. You have to be brave sometimes to try this stuff. So we've had a recipe every day for the summer, every weekday, every day of the show. We do this at 8 o'clock. So I wonder, what's your kid's favorite concoction to make in the kitchen? Let me tell you about the one that I found. Now this brings two things together that everybody loves. I mean, come on, cinnamon rolls, those things are delicious, right? They're ooey and gooey and sweet, and they just make you feel good. You can just smell it and it puts a smile on your face. And then there's this other staple for the kids, pizza. Whatever roll you can get it in. Maybe in a pizza roll, maybe in just a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Oh, I miss Pizza Hut. We don't have it in Arab anymore. They're closed down. Or maybe it's from your favorite pizza place. Maybe Papa John's or Domino's or Marco's Pizza. They're good. I hear that Pizza Ed is going to be opening pretty soon here in Gunnersville. I'm looking forward to that, by the way. But anyway, back to my story. You got a Cinnabon cinnamon roll. You top it with pizza toppings. We're talking about the pepperoni, the cheese, a little bit of the marinara sauce, and you cook it together so that you have the savory, you've got the sweet. It's a meal in and of itself. It's the meal with dessert. So there you go. The Cinnabon pizza, the flavor profile is advanced, but gourmet nonetheless. What do you think about it? Go over there on this post on our Facebook page, 88.5_JFM, and let me know. And put in the comments what you think about this one and your kids' favorite concoction that they've ever come out of the kitchen with. Yeah, it can be crazy or it can be really good. We'd love to talk about it right here on the radio. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, I've got a chance for somebody to win a family 4-pack of passes to Point Mallard Water Park. There's one thing that really helps with the heat, and that is swimming. Hey, how about at a water park, like over in Decatur at Point Mallard Water Park? I've got a family 4-pack of passes to give away if you can answer my question correctly. So here we go. True or false? A duck can sleep with one eye open. The number to call, 256-505-0885. A duck can sleep with one eye open. Is that true or false? let me know. Oh, there's my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answers. Jordan Feliz, the king is alive. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. So, I wonder if you know anything about ducks. Do you have a favorite duck?
Not really, but
Maybe Donald the Duck, or Daffy Duck, Daisy Duck, or Howard the Duck?
yeah.
All right, I got you. I grew up with all those on cartoons. So, here's the question I have for you, sir. A duck can sleep with one eye open. Is that true or false?
True?
It is true. Congratulations to you. You just won a family 4-pack to Point Mallard Water Park. Congratulations. How does that feel?
Thank you. Awesome. I've not been.
You've never been to Point Mallard. You are in for a treat. They got a wave pool. They got the slides. They got the lazy river. Yeah. You know what? I think your little girl might enjoy some Point Mallard as well.
Uh-huh.
How's she doing, by the way?
Doing good.
Very good. And how about that wife of yours?
Doing good.
Very nice. All right. Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it. Hey, I love watching your little girl grow up on Facebook. That is so cool. All right. So, Jimmy Lee and Liz Udi, I will get these passes sent to you. Hey, could I ask you one more question, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Why do you listen to this radio station?
Well, y'all raised me up. My spirit's up all the time.
Man, thank you for listening. That means a lot. We're just trying to make your day a little better. Are we doing our jobs?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Have a great day, and I'll get these in the mail.
Hey,
You got a song? You got a song you'd like for me to play for you?
I do. My wife does too.
All right, which ones? What we got?
Mine is Jesus Coming Back.
Okay.
Mine is getting started.
Getting started. Jeremy Camp, right?
Yes.
Very good. All right, I'll play them for you. Thanks again for calling.
Oh, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
So much fun. This Point Mallard family 4-pack giveaway. Oh my goodness, giving you a chance to really make some family memories that are going to last a lifetime. And I know our kids, sometimes they get bored, and so we wanted to give you a fun experience. And a big thank you to Point Mallard for partnering up with us to make this happen. Now, hey, you know what? You could win just like Jimmy Lee and Liz did. Next week, Tuesday and Thursday, we give these things away. On Wednesdays are like Winnie Wednesday, and then on Mondays, we've got ice cream giveaways from Jaden's Ice Cream Truck. So a lot of fun happening right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hey, I bet you've got a story about how you saw an answer to your prayer, because God still answers prayers, doesn't he? Yeah, why don't you share that story with somebody? Hey, I'd love to hear that story. Call me up, let me know, or send me a DM. 256-505-0885. You could DM any of the socials. I'll get it that way. Or you could even email me, Stephen, that's with a V, at 885jfm.com. I'd love to hear that story. Hey, I might even like to feature that on the radio. One of your answered prayers. Again, the number 256-505-0885. And my email, Stephen at 885jfm.com. You don't have to be rich to move mountains. You don't have to be wealthy to make an impact. What little do you have that you can give? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about anything that you have. What do you have you can give to impact the world around you? I want you to stick around and hear this inspiring story from Brian Trent. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Little is much when God is in it. You might be thinking, Stephen, you don't understand. I don't really have much to bring at all. As far as finances go, I'm barely scraping by. I can't afford to give anybody anything. I might not be able to pay the bills. I got you. I've lived there. Or maybe you're like, Stephen, you don't understand. I don't have like this award-winning career. I'm not really special at anything in particular. To which I would respond, that's okay. You have something. You bring value to this world just in and of yourself. And God has given you some abilities, some skills, some talents that you can use to impact the community around you for His kingdom and to share God with them, to share your faith. I want you to hear the story from Brian Trent. Now, he's the pastor at Lighthouse Church up in Hampton, South Carolina. And he's always bringing good content to the socials. I think you're going to love this. Take a listen.
You ever feel like you just don't have much to offer? Never underestimate how impactful that little bit can be. We had a team from our church in Guatemala serving a small village. And this village had a population of about 200 living in huts right on top of each other. And right in the middle, there was one hut that had a toilet. It wasn't connected to running water, had no tank, not even a seat. Basically sitting over a hole with a see-through curtain for privacy. So there was one church in the village, and we decided to build 2 fully functioning bathrooms right outside of that church for the entire village. Talking about a church serving its community. One day we took some time to go see the patriarch of the village, who was blind, and his wife, and they were elderly. They were also the poorest in an already poverty-stricken village. But the love of God poured out of her, because when she hugged us, it was like God himself hugged us. And on our last day there, here she come walking down the hill. She was carrying a basket of tamales, some rice, and some sauce that she had made. The poorest lady in the village had been working for days to provide us with this meal. The equivalent of months of resources and income for her to do this for us. In Luke 21, Jesus saw rich people putting gifts in the offering, and then he saw this widow woman putting in 2 mites. That would have been worth less than a penny. But he said she had put in the most because she had put in all she had. See, we had bought plane tickets, we had pitched in to build bathrooms, and we were happy to do it all. But in the end, she gave more. To say that it was humbling sitting there eating that meal would be an understatement. Our lives were radically changed that day. This woman, who was old and feeble, living in a hut made of sticks and mud for walls, took all she had and touched the hearts of our team in a way that we had never been touched before. You don't have to be rich to move mountains.
Little is much when God is in it. Wow. Hey, if you want to follow him for more inspiring content, you can find him on TikTok under the handle Trent Tribe. He's always got good stuff. So there's this really funny guy. His name is Matt Mitchell, and he's always got something Southern to say. Now, keep in mind, when he does these videos on social, he poses as 2 people having a conversation. So I guess we're going to call this Matt talking with himself. But it's a pretty funny conversation. See what you think about it. This is all about some Southern math.
Welcome to Southern Math. Oh, question? Yeah, no, more of a fact. Math is just math. Give me a couple reasons why you think that. Well, numbers are pretty much the same everywhere. I mean, 1 plus 1 is always going to be 2. Go on. With what? There's nothing left to say. Yeah, but I asked for a couple reasons and you only gave me 2. Yeah, that's literally what a couple is. It's okay, never mind. I see where this is going. Exactly. In the South, a couple can be any number between 2 and 5. Yeah, there's a few problems with that. Yep, and speaking of that, a few is any number between 6 and almost a dozen. Okay. And a dozen is 12. Finally, unless we're at Krispy Kreme, then it could be 24, depending on the type of deal they're running. I mean, you're not going to pass up a buy a dozen, get a dozen for $1, are you? And there it is. Mm-hmm. And anything more than 2 dozen is just a whole mess. A whole mess of what? No, that's it. This makes 0 sense. Plumb out. What? You just said 0, and the scientific term is plumb out. That is not science. Backtalk me again, and I will move your possum from the trash can to the road. Okay, thank you, maybe? I don't, is that a good thing? Go ahead, pull out your calculator, I'll show you how this works. Okay, oh, it won't. And what does it say? Nothing, we haven't done any real math yet. Yeah, I know, in the top corner, Texas Instruments. Just wanted to make you aware of what region of the country calculators are being made. It's here. Okay, well, the back says made in China. So, you got a few gallons of tea. No, I don't. It's a word problem, Jimbo, okay? Try to keep up. Who's Jimbo? That's not my name. You got a few gallons of tea for your party, but there's a whole mess of people that showed up that did not RSVP. Now, how many of those people will get tea? Okay, so the term word problem can be a little confusing, but it does have to contain some numbers. Watch me carefully. A few, okay, just making stuff up, divided by a whole mess. Now, you pick the number. Okay, I don't know, 200. A whole mess, some of which did not RSVP. Why didn't you use X? When given the opportunity to write a variable, you should go with the whole monogram. Okay, I don't know what in the Alabama sorority you're talking about. Maybe literally the craziest thing I've ever heard. Okay, 0.045. There it is, bingo. Bingo, that's what you call this number. No, that means it's the right answer. How many people get tea? 0.05 people get tea. That you divided by the wrong number. Turn it cattywampus. You just gonna start making up words now? Come on, tump it over. Still not using real words. Give me that. Shoe. Shoe? Or, go on now, get. What is that? The answer of the people that did not RSVP, how many of them will get tea? None. So shoo, go on now get. This is easily the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Well, now you've done it. Your possum just went from playing in the trash to in the road playing dead. And if you talk out again, it'll be more than just playing dead. Wait, am I the possum in this scenario? That sounds kind of like a threat. All right, time for shapes. How long is this class? All the Dollar General stores. And how many is that? No.
I want to leave you with one final thought before I must bid you adieu for the day, and that is today's inspiring quote. I love this. Love does not dominate, it cultivates. Think about that for a second. What that says to me is love is only felt when freedom is present. You shouldn't try to control the ones you love. There's a pretty big example of that in the Bible, isn't there? Because my Bible says that God is love. And think about what God gave us, free will. Wow, so we are free to choose to love or not to love, to accept or to reject. But I want you to apply that to your life and see how maybe you can love the people in your life like God loves you. We should never try to control the ones that we love. That gets so many people in trouble, and it helps you feel like you're caught in a prison if somebody is always trying to control you. So I hope you'll take some inspiration from that inspiring quote. You can find that as well at 12 o'clock over on our YouTube. I post it as an image post there on YouTube, and I put it up on Twitter at 12 o'clock as well. So you can go check that out. And of course, the words of life, those are in photo and video form across all of our socials as well. We really hope that you get something out of those. We're hoping that you can use those to kind of share your faith. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thanks again for hanging out with me today here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'll see you again tomorrow from 6 to 10. Now keep it locked in here to 88.5 JFM. We'd love to keep you company all day long.